Hi, I'm Maddy from GamesRadar, and this is Hot 25, the show where we run down the most anticipated upcoming games and let you know what you should be on the lookout for. So let's just get this thing rolling and start with number 25.
At number 25, we have Saros. The new game from developer Housemarque, this cosmic action game looks every bit as intense and exciting as beloved PS5 roguelike Returnal.
With Raoul Coley in the lead role, this third-person action shooter takes place on the planet of Carcosa, where our hero investigates a lost colony.
Featuring a range of permanent character upgrades, as well as the ability to transform the protagonist's arm into a weapon, Saros is one action game fans won't want to miss. At number 24, we have Witchbrook.
A delightful blend of cozy life sim and magic school fantasy, Witchbrook has been on our list for a while now, but after it's been delayed till 2026, it's fair to say we just want it even more now.
The Witch life sim lets you play solo or as one of 4 co-op players as you live out the life of a student of the arcane in the town of Mossport. Whether you're a veteran Stardew Valley fan or a newcomer to the slice of life game genre, Witchbrook's premise is inviting enough for anyone. At number 23, we have Invincible Versus. The Invincible animated series is full of incredible action sequences, and soon you'll be able to take control of them yourself. Well, so long as you're good enough to dominate your opponent. Invincible Versus is a fighting game where Omni-Man, Atom Eve, and more can go head-to-head in gory, violent clashes. Playing in teams of 3, you'll need to learn combos and when to switch out your brawler to make the biggest impact.
What I'm saying is, think, Mark, think. Sorry if your name's not Mark.
Next up, we have Pragmata.
This year, we finally got an update on Pragmata, a Capcom game that many of us were starting to fear had vanished without a trace.
Luckily, that's not the case, and we can't wait to dive into this sci-fi action adventure. Playing as Diana and Hugh, the 2 protagonists team up to wield their abilities against a horde of hostile robots. While the former can use her hacking skills, the latter breaks out his jetpack and firearms, making for quite the dynamic duo indeed.
In our last Hot 25, we said we got major Kratos and Atreus vibes from these two. And yeah, we're gonna stand by that.
At 21, we have Lego Batman Legacy of the Dark Knight.
Who doesn't love a Lego Batman game?
There's something about taking the dark, dramatic world of the Caped Crusader and blending it with the silly, carefree vibe of the popular toy bricks that works so well. Described as a love letter to the world of Batman by DC Comics president Jim Lee, Legacy of the Dark Knight will offer an original story inspired by a range of Batman media.
With plenty of well-known characters from Batman Returns' Catwoman to The Dark Knight's Joker, this looks to be the definitive LEGO Batman experience.
At number 20, we have Fire Emblem Fortune's Weave.
When it comes to turn-based strategy games, Fire Emblem is about as iconic as it gets, especially when we're talking about Nintendo ones.
Revealed in September this year, the trailer revealed plenty of new characters alongside a familiar combat style, albeit visually improved compared to 2023's Fire Emblem Engage. The power of the Switch 2 in action, baby! Whether the game features the social and life sim elements of 2019's Fire Emblem Three Houses remains to be seen. We'll be keeping our eyes peeled for more details. Next up on our list, we have John Carpenter's Toxic Commando.
There are few names as hallowed in the world of horror as John Carpenter, the visionary behind Halloween and The Thing. So if you're going to make a zombie game, you might as well consult the expert, right?
Made by Saber Interactive and Focus Entertainment, the developer and publisher duo that gave us 2024's excellent Space Marine 2, this upcoming FPS pits players against hordes of zombies. Offering both single and multiplayer gameplay, Toxic Commando may just scratch our Left 4 Dead itch. At number 18, we have Star Wars Zero Company.
The Star Wars franchise has birthed some incredible games over the years. Battlefront, Knights of the Old Republic, Jedi Survivor, the list goes on and on. Yet, we always want more reasons to visit the galaxy far, far away.
Star Wars Zero Company is a single-player turn-based tactics game set in the twilight of the Clone Wars. You play as Hawks, a former Republic officer who now leads a team of mercenaries in an effort to save the day. Promising a gritty and authentic original story with a boots-on-the-ground perspective of the galactic conflict, Zero Company is one Star Wars fans need to get their hands on. Next up, we have Out of Words. There's nothing quite like stop motion. The surreal movement evokes a childlike wonder, and when matched with a suitably eye-catching art style, you get Out of Words. This co-op platformer takes place in the fantasy world of Vocabalantis, and puts you and a friend in the roles of Kurt and Carla as you journey together and solve puzzles along the way.
Packing an emotional tale about saving the world and our hero's relationship, be prepared to feel some things with this one.
Next on our list is Marvel Tokon Fighting Souls. The Marvel series is no stranger to fighting games. Whether facing off against Capcom, such as the appropriately named Marvel vs. Capcom series, or keeping it internal with the likes of X-Men Mutant Academy, it's clear the comic characters were made for a scrap. So when PlayStation announced Marvel Tokon Fighting Souls earlier this year, it was hardly the biggest surprise.
And yet, we're pretty excited about it.
Being developed by Arc System Works, the studio behind the Guilty Gear series and Dragon Ball FighterZ, we can be sure this new fighting game is in safe hands. At number 15, we have Beast of Reincarnation.
I'm still finding it hard to believe that Game Freak is working on something other than Pokémon, but Beast of Reincarnation is a new IP for the developer, albeit with a bit of similarity.
Set in post-apocalyptic Japan, you take on the role of Emma as you explore with the aid of your canine companion, Ku. Described as an expansive one-person, one-dog action RPG built around demanding technical combat, Beast of Reincarnation is shaping up to be an unmissable title when it drops in 2026, although we don't have a specific release date yet. Next on our list, we have Crisol Theatre of Idols.
Crisol Theatre of Idols, Blumhouse Games' upcoming first-person horror title, grabbed our attention from the moment we first saw it.
This steampunk action game takes place in a distorted alternate version of Spain called Hispania. In this bizarre and unnerving world, ornate weapons use blood as ammo. While this may sound like Death Stranding, reloading is much more aggressive in Crisol. As GamesRadar's own Ashley Bardan describes it, I squeeze the grip on my pistol, forcing spikes into my fingers and letting a storm of blood turn my wrists brownish. Playing as Gabriel, a soldier who is, of course, powered by blood, you'll explore the cursed island of Tormentos whilst dealing with the intimidating machines that are far from user-friendly. From blood and gore to something pretty cute, we now have Tomodachi Life Living the Dream. The Tomodachi series has always been a peculiar yet enchanting beast. A social sim series where you oversee interactions between Miis, it was previously a core part of the game that you couldn't directly control what happens between your subjects. Tomodachi Life Living the Dream looks to change that, giving you the power to dictate the play by choosing how these interactions go, developing relationships between Miis.
It's just like when you grab your fiance's Warhammer figures and make them kiss. Just me? Alright then. Also, these ones are mine. But that's not the point.
Also, my favourite fact about this game is found on Wikipedia, where it says, and I quote, "Notably, this game marks the first appearance of ears on Mii characters." Perfection. At number 12, we have Pokémon Pokeria.
Have you ever wondered what would happen if you took Pokémon and mixed it with Minecraft and Animal Crossing? Well, now we know.
Pokémon Pokeria has to be one of the weirdest twists on the life sim genre we've ever seen, and we're totally here for it. You play as a Ditto masquerading as a human as you build and craft your own settlement to attract more Pokémon to join you. As Ditto recruits more companions, you'll gain access to new moves that help you interact with the various biomes you'll discover. Being developed by Koei Tecmo, this spin-off title offers the perfect way to enjoy the world of Pokémon without the mainline catching and training grind we all know so well. A delightful way to mix things up. Next, we have Forza Horizon 6. The Forza Horizon games are exceptional open-world driving games, so when the 6th installment in the series was revealed at Tokyo Game Show this year, it's no surprise virtual car fans everywhere got excited. The game's teaser trailer showcased a stunning Mount Fuji, but didn't show any gameplay, leaving us to imagine the thrills and spills awaiting us in picturesque Japan. It's being developed by Playground Games after all, so we know it's going to be absolutely gorgeous. It's set to launch on PC and Xbox at some point in 2026, with a later release for PS5 down the line. At number 10, we have The Blood of Dawnwalker. A vampire open-world RPG being made by former Witcher 3 developers, it's no surprise we're excited about The Blood of Dawnwalker. Described as a narrative sandbox with a free-form approach to storytelling, the game sees you play as Cohen, who has 30 days and nights to rescue his family in a dark, alternate take on 14th century Europe. While we haven't got an exact date yet, we can expect to sink our teeth into this tantalising tale sometime in 2026. Up next, we have Onimusha Way of the Sword.
20 years after the previous mainline title, the Onimusha series is back with Way of the Sword launching in 2026.
A third-person action-adventure game set in a dark fantasy version of Edo period Kyoto, you play as samurai Miyamoto Musashi, who must face off against demonic enemies. Slash and parry your way through foes as you take in this grim yet gorgeous reimagining of Japan, made all the more realistic by the development team consulting with temple officials to gain insight into the bygone era. Next is Metroid Prime 4 Beyond.
Less than a month away, the next Samus Aran adventure is almost upon us.
Nintendo's iconic bounty hunter once again has her work cut out for her, with plenty of enemies to take on, including rival bounty hunter Silux. Equipped with new psychic powers and a shiny motorbike, this Switch and Switch 2 adventure is one Metroid fans have been craving for almost 20 years now. Hang in there, everyone. It's so close. Our next game to look out for is Fable 4.
There are few RPGs as deserving of a new entry as Fable, and 5 years after it was announced, the wait for Fable 4 has been a tough one.
With its trademark British wit and cartoony vibe, fans of the franchise are eager to see what the new entry has in store, especially since we've only had a few trailers so far. It's another entry on this list being developed by Playground Games, so again, we can expect a visually stunning experience. As for what else to expect, we really can't be too sure just yet. Next, we have the Dusk Bloods. A new From Software game is always cause for excitement, but when we first saw the Dusk Bloods during the Nintendo Switch 2 presentation, we, like so many others, thought it was Bloodborne 2. However, it seems the Switch 2 exclusive has a bit more going on than the 2015's Lovecraftian horror-inspired action RPG. Set in a world of vampires, this PvPVE will have players delve into locations from various time periods, all in the name of competing for first blood during the twilight of humanity.
The last time we made a Hot 25, we said we weren't really sure what that meant, and we still don't. There's still no clarity on what that meant, but that only makes us more excited to find out more.
You knew it would be on this list? Grand Theft Auto 6.
I mean, it's GTA 6. What more would you need to know at this point?
Oh, well, it's been delayed again by another 6 months, so we won't be able to play it until November 19th, 2026. That's assuming it doesn't get pushed back again. Is this the new Silk song? Will GTA 6 ever come out? At number 4, we have The Witcher 4. We got a good look at The Witcher 4 back in June at the State of Unreal, showcasing protagonist Ciri adventuring through the gorgeous open world of Kavir in a tech demo. Seeing her riding through the wilds on her horse Kelpie and walking through a vibrant town, it's hard not to get excited about what The Witcher 4 will offer when it finally releases. Whenever that is. Especially when you consider just how seminal The Witcher 3 is.
I love Geralt, but it was always going to be Ciri's turn one day, and her Elder Blood offers up a whole new range of possibilities the White Wolf could only dream of.
We are now in top 3 territory, so let's get going. At number 3, we have 007 First Light.
From the creators of Hitman, 007 First Light is an origin tale starring a fresh-faced James Bond, and it looks to be giving a little bit of Uncharted vibes.
Playing as the iconic spy during the early days of his MI6 career, the announcement trailer shows 007 speeding in a flash car, inspecting some new gadgets, handling a firearm with expert precision, and brawling a fellow trainee. In addition, we see our agent in a variety of locations, including a luxury yacht. So don't worry, the champagne lifestyle Bond's used to from the movies has made it into IO Interactive's game. At number 2, we have Resident Evil Requiem. It's a pretty great time to be a horror fan. Silent Hill F recently released to a strong critical reception, while games like Chronos The New Dawn and No, I'm Not a Human offer creepy vibes to unsettle players. However, 2026 is holding an even more exciting title for us in Resident Evil Requiem. New protagonist Grace Ashcroft, an FBI agent and daughter of Resident Evil Outbreak's Alyssa Ashcroft, finds herself tied up in a dank, dreadful hospital, desperately trying to find a way out while evading the grotesque teeth of a monstrous entity that patrols the hallways.
Only a few months away, this next installment of Capcom's horror franchise is one we can't wait to get our grubby little hands on.
And finally, at number 1, our most anticipated game is Marvel's Wolverine.
We've finally seen a full trailer for Marvel's Wolverine, and it looks to be just as gripping and gruesome as we could ask for.
Announced back in 2021, the game was shown off during September's State of Play, where it was also announced the game will release in late 2026. Being developed by Insomniac Games as a PS5 exclusive, we've no doubt this grisly superhero tale will be just as excellent as the studio's Spider-Man tales, albeit a lot more violent, which isn't exactly a bad thing. With how long we've been waiting, the team behind it and the character at its core, Marvel's Wolverine is without a doubt our most anticipated game right now. The question is, what's yours? Are you excited for the same games that our team are? Or do you think we've missed any? Let us know down below in the comments and stick with GamesRadar for the biggest gaming releases.